Good afternoon and a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Great to have you with us here on the opening Sunday at Grand Champions Polo Club. We are about to get things underway. The World Polo League, of course, coming back here in its 8th year. And before we get on with the introduction of the teams who I can see have already made their way to the halfway line, I'd like you all, please, to be upstanding as I hand the microphone over to the one and only Tom Blake for the American National Anthem. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tom Blake. And now, without any further ado, let me introduce you to the two teams playing for the final of the Sterling Cup. We're going to start from left to right in the white shirts. That, of course, is Team Dus. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome at number one. You know him. It is, of course, the Cobra, Mr. Mark Gansey. Good afternoon. Coming in at number 2, the very strong forward goalie. Please give it up for Colo Gonzalez. And then we go to last year's Gold Cup winner from England, ladies and gentlemen, at number 3, playing off 7 goals, Paquito de Narvaez. Good afternoon. And at number 4, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you don't need to have any more introduction than Barto with his presence here this afternoon. Now over to the Boca Raton. I'd like you to please welcome at number 1, the very strong playing Artemio Figueras. And then all the way, always a pleasure to see him back here at Grand Champions from the Great White North, Mr. Freddie Mannix. Good afternoon, sir. At number 3, yes, the rumours are true. Mr. Heartthrob himself is in the house. Nick Roldan. Good afternoon, Nick. And at number 4, El Guapo Alejandro Novillo Estrada. That is your team, the Boca Raton. And of course, we have Santos Anca, the man who is the mounted official, alongside Gaston Dorignac, our chief umpire. They'll be making sure that the boys play by the rules. So I think we're about ready. I should be telling you a little bit more about the Sterling Cup as the afternoon continues. Take your seats, strap yourselves in. We are all very excited here and looking forward to, as I said, the opening match of the 2026 World Polo League season. This now in its 8th year. Plenty of polo coming your way. Remember, you can follow us on all the social media pages, CTV Sports and gcpolo.com. And free subscription for anyone who would like to join us, of course. So feel free to subscribe for free on CTV Sports, gcpolo.com. You can also watch the action, of course, on our YouTube channel. We've got DJ Darren in the house this afternoon. He'll be entertaining us here at field number 2, Grand Champions Polo Club. As I say, the field looking in an immaculate condition. A big thank you to our ground staff for getting it ready for this first featured game of the week, as always on a Sunday here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Right. A few words, final words of instructions there from our mounted official. As I have a little look here at my sheet from last year. Now, in the final last year of the Sterling Cup, it was Global Port up against the Maltese Falcons, who were the defending champions. It was a very, very hard battle. It went into double overtime, and it was Senor Bato Castagnola who picked up the winning goal, scoring a total of 11 goals last year in the final, winning the prestigious Sterling Cup. And he's back, as we've just seen today, playing for Team DUS. I shall tell you a bit more about who DUS are as well. Very interesting little project, which is we're looking forward to opening up later in the year, in the summer. Not quite sure yet when. It's a bit of a secret, so the anticipation very much growing. And I think we're about ready. Yeah, the number 4 there, Castagnola, just coming on a specific pony that they want to start this the first of our 4 chukkers. Now remember, we've got the one and only Del Schwetz, who shall be bringing you some very interesting snippets of information also during half-time. He'll be down in the pony lines trying to collar 1 or 2 of the players to get an idea of what things are like out there. So I think we're about ready. A little bit tricky to tell the difference in colours, so just again as a reminder, DUS playing in the what looks like a lot more white than the sort of beigey white, the sort of off-white there by the Boca Raton. I'd like to also welcome Mr. Daniel Hostetler, the CEO and President of the Boca Raton and the Boca Raton Club, which are, of course, our official partner again this year in the 2026 season. So thank you very much for your continuous support. And if you haven't had a chance to go down there, you should definitely check it out. The Boca Raton Club, definitely worth a visit. Obviously not on a Sunday. We'd rather have you here on a Sunday, but there are many other days in the week. So here we go then. The ball's in play. Best of luck to both teams. We will, of course, have the prize presentation right after this game, so do stick around for that. And it looks like the team in the white shirts just are going to get the first little win here. The man on the ball, no surprise. Balto Castagnola. Now remember, he's dangerous from anywhere in the field, launching his first rocket of a shot there. That's just slightly going out to the left. And I've got a feeling Alejandro Navijo Estrada is going to be the man to get things underway for the Boca Raton. Great crowd here. I know you're watching at home and around the world on CTV Sports, but I can tell you, filling up very nicely here, much anticipated, this first featured game of the season here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Of course, the birthplace of champions, where they're born, raised and bred. The Cobra trying to get a piece of it. Nice little open back shot there from Mr. Mannix, trying to feed it up to Roldan. Little backhand shot didn't quite go where he wanted. Now the man with the number 3 there, you can see his mallet's seen better days. Still trying to do a little bit of damage with it. Castagnola being beaten there by Figueres. Figueres takes the ball round the outside. Couldn't quite control it as Barto takes it into the corner. Trying to create a little bit of space for himself. He's done well. Takes it and sends it down the boards. Good little touch. Stolen here. Cheeky but effective by Roldan. A little under the belly shot there. Looking for Alejandro Navijo. Here comes the under the neck. Trying to send it all the way back up to Artemio. He can pick this one up. Opens his shoulders. Takes a shot. And what a cracking goal there by Artemio Figueres. Ladies and gentlemen, those hands will still not clap themselves. Cracking play there, and it all started here right underneath the commentator's booth as Nick Roldan sent it up. Alejandro then hammers it under the neck, and the execution there by Artemio, second to none. Okay, ball's back in play. Picked up quickly now. This time, the shoe's on the other foot. Monster shot here by the number 3 in white. Just going wide. Paquito de Narvaez, as I said, winner of the British Open in 2025. Great to have him also gracing us with his presence here on this slightly overcast Sunday here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Knock-in coming once again through Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Plays it out towards the boards. Again, looking for Artemio. That seems to be a very good pairing here. Left behind for Nick. Roldan gently strokes it back up. The little rotation working here as Alejandro opens his shoulders. Wants to send that ball into the danger zone. Artemio trying to jump on top of that. Left behind for the number 2. That could be Mr. Mannix. Can he clean? I was going to say, can he put it through? And he does, ladies and gentlemen, and that is goal number 2 again for the Boca Raton. Mr. Mannix, I believe, getting the last piece on that play. Well, that's the kind of start that they were looking for, and I'm pretty sure we will hear a whistle. There it is. So we're going to have a little courtesy change. I'm going to leave you in the musical hands now of DJ Dazza, and we will be right back for the second half of the first chukker of this, the Sterling Cup. One, two. I think we're back after a very quick courtesy change. I'd like to also welcome the sexy chef, who has become a permanent feature here at Grand Champions Polo Club, looking after your culinary delights. Very quickly, the ball's back in play. And looks like Mr. Roldan might have just been caught there as he lost that ball. Bartek Castagnola quickly jumping on that line, getting the right of way. So the first whistle in this final, the Sterling Cup. So far it's been relatively smooth. Both teams very quickly picking up or showing the pace that they'd like to play this at. So a little right of way infringement there. And again, depending on where that foul takes place, the umpire, in this case, Santos Anca, will determine. In this case, it's a hit from the spot, a penalty 5. Quickly taken. Nice little lofted shot there from Mr. Paquito de Narvaez. Yes, B.A. Baracus, thank you. Ball's back in play, picked up by Paquito. Let's see what he can do with it here. He's got to get past Mannix. Little near side backhand shot. Ball goes back towards that halfway line, but Castagnola playing the Secretary or the Minister of Defence will leave that one behind. Once again for Paquito. Very dangerous. That shot just slightly going out wide, so scores remain the same. Still 2 goals to that 1 goal given on handicap, of course, to Dus, who coming in off a 22 handicap. A lot of polo royalty here this afternoon at Grand Champions Polo Club. Thank you. Well, and that'll be Mr. Crowder. Good to see you, sir. Looking forward to seeing you in the saddle throughout the season. Back to the action we go. And Paquito turns it. Creating a bit of space. He's got the Cobra out on his left. Wants to get that ball a little bit further. Leaves it now for Castagnola. Castagnola trying to work it. Oh, a little bit of a mistake, but that could be a buried ball. Yeah, we're going to have a whistle on that buried ball. A little unfortunate. They were just about to race towards that goal mouth. Can happen, of course. Horse stepping on a ball. So if you've just joined us, we've had a goal by Artemio Figueres and Mr. Fred Mannix in this opening chukker. A goal given on handicap to Dus. And let's see when they pick up their first score out of the match. Back to Castagnola. Now remember, he is dangerous from anywhere on that field. Sends it through the middle. Finding Paquito one more time. Takes a shot, and Paquito picking up a cracking goal there from about 35, 40 yards out. Well done indeed. Paquito de Narvaez picking up his first, and by doing so gets the equaliser with a little over a minute and 20 remaining here in the first chukker. Whistle there, just stopping the clock to allow that last player, Nick Roldan, to join his teammates as they descend back on that halfway line. Remember, after every goal is scored, they change the ends. Old tradition, of course. Wind, rain, weather is the reason for that. Powerful near side backhand shot there from the Canadian lumberjack Mannix. Looking for the number 2 there. Colo Gonzalez hasn't had that many, hasn't had that many touches yet. Oh, cheeky and very well played here by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Takes the ball and just puts it wide. That could have been goal number 3 here for the Boca Raton team and, of course, the Boca Raton club. So, game heating up very nicely now, and that horn you might have heard in the background will conclude the end of the first chukker. Ladies and gentlemen, be so kind, give the players a little round of applause. We're going to have a very short break, allowing the players to change their ponies. We will be back in just a few moments for chukker number 2.
When I founded the Taqueria 48 years ago, the goal was to service polo players fieldside and carry a complete line of polo equipment. Since those early days, we now carry everything for the horse and rider. Anything goes on or near a horse, you're likely to find here in our store. We still have polo equipment made by polo players for polo players.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. No rest for the wicked. Players are very quickly back out here. I'd like to once again welcome you to the opening match of the World Polo League season 2026, now in its 8th year, starting off on this Sunday with the final of the Sterling Cup. A quick reminder who's out there in the slightly off-white shirts. We've got the Boca Raton team led by the number 1, Artemio Figueres, picking up a goal in that opening chukker. At number 2, Freddie Mannix, also scoring in that opening chukker, picking up 2 goals for the Boca Raton. At number 3, Nick Roldan, instrumental in the creation and the making of those goals, as was Alejandro Navijo Estrada, the man with the number 4, so more playing the defending role. I'll come back to Dus in just a second. Let's just see what Mr. Roldan can do here, trying to finish what he started. He gets a very nice bit of defensive play there by Castagnola. So Dus led by Mark Gansey, the Cobra at number 1. Colo Gonzalez, the 4-goal Argentiner at number 2. And then at number 3, Paquito de Narvaez. Remember, he won the British Open, the Gold Cup last year in England. And then at number 4, Barto Castagnola. Well, what hasn't he won is really the question. You know, rewriting the history books alongside his brother, his cousin, and his uncle. That is, of course, the team to beat. Great to have such polo superstars amongst us here this afternoon. And it's exactly that man, Barto Castagnola, who will start the next launch or the next attack. Long deep ball over on the far side, looking for Gansey. Alejandro Navijo Estrada will just get there a little bit ahead of the Cobra. Nice little turn towards the boards. Left behind, picked up now by Roldan. Roldan spanks that one over the halfway line, trying to feed it up to Mannix. Didn't quite get the perfect angle or the line on that play. And Castagnola, again, exceptionally well mounted. Super fast, that pony, taking him wherever he needs to be. And it's Castagnola who might just try and run this one. You can see the Cobra going up, losing the pack. Looks over his shoulder. Roldan in hot pursuit, but Mark could finish this one. Gets his mallet down low. One touch. Oh, and he just puts it wide. Just ever so slightly wide. Unlucky. Great play, though. You could feel it coming. The pass coming from Castagnola. Very close. I'm sure we'd like that one back. Let's have a look at the clock. Still a good 5 minutes remaining here in the second chukker. Alejandro Navijo Estrada will bring things back into play. Has to have another shot at that. Looking for and finding pitch perfect here. Artemio Figueres. Figueroas will try and run with this one if he can. Try and avoid the ride off there from Paquito de Narvaez. Still, Artemio. Mannix coming in. Slightly overran that play. And the man, well, yep, that was, I think, relatively an open shut case here. The lesser angle from where I'm sitting was very much in favour of Bata Castagnola. Roldan thought he might just get away with it, but Santos Anca making his debut appearance here at Grand Champions Polo Club. I remember him from having played many, many years in Germany. Great to see him back here. So, again, right decision and a very straightforward hit from the spot. 5A here quickly taken by Castagnola. Now, who can he play it to? And he's going to try and feed that one up to Paquito. Paquito de Narvaez. Nice little back shot there. The call came from Roldan. It was heard by Alejandro Novillo Estrada, and Nick now needing to try and weave his way through defenders. But if any man can cut the ball fine, it's this man. Here it comes. Didn't quite get the mallet behind that to put it through the uprights, but as I said, Nick Roldan, incredibly dangerous when it comes to slicing that ball or playing a cut shot to try and put it between the 24 feet. That make the difference, or the distance between the two goalposts. Here we go then, ball coming in back into play. Everything via Castagnola, playing more the number 4 position. So more of the defending role. Well mounted also, Paquito de Narvaez. Plays it into the open space to try and have or create more options of what he can do with it. The rotation working, leaves it behind for Castagnola. He will drill it back up to the front door. Nicely done here. This combination play. This time it's Colo Gonzalez trying to get a little bit closer towards that goal mouth, left behind, and this is what team play is all about. You back each other up, and then that's what can happen. Paquito de Narvaez picking up goal number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Dust back in the lead by 3-2 for the first time now. They take the lead, and the umpire, as you can see, making his way back to the halfway line. Once he gets there, he will blow that whistle, allowing the players no more than 45 seconds to a minute for a courtesy change. There's the whistle, and I can tell you that in 2024, we already spoke about who won the Sterling Cup back in 2025. It was a thrilling final. Global Port beating the Maltese Falcons, who were the defending champions from 2024. Went into double overtime. It was the 8th chukker. And man of the match, scoring a total of 11 goals. Bata Castagnola also winning the MVP last year. And he's back in the saddle again. And it could be that he might be bestowed that same award again. Now, the Sterling Cup, in case you are new to the Sterling Cup, was resurrected now 10 years ago after a 22-year absence. It was brought back by Grand Champions Polo Club and the president, the wonderful Melissa Ganzi, in hoping of recapturing the glory days. Well, she's definitely done that. And we are delighted to have the Sterling Cup reactivated and being played here at Grand Champions Polo Club. And what a cracking goal that was indeed. And if I'm not mistaken, that was Mr. Mannix picking up his second goal here for the Boca Raton, and that puts them level with 3 goals apiece. Well, Mr. Mannix, of course, the best that Canada has to offer, and also a permanent fixture here at Grand Champions Polo Club. A very talented all-round player, inspirational also for the younger generation. So if you're here from the polo school here over at Santa Rita, keep a close eye on Mr. Mannix. You can learn a lot from him. And Alejandro Novillo Estrada here forcing that error against Colo Gonzalez. Had the lesser angle, had the right of way, hence the whistle. Now let's see where the umpire, Santos Anca, will place that ball. There was no malice intended. And it'll at least be a penalty for, so 60 yards, of course. That's the only penalty that can be defended by, in this case, the defending team. Does. But I think it's been moved a little bit closer to penalty 3. Looks like a 3. It's open, undefended. Chance here for Artemio Figueres to pick up possibly his second goal of the match, if indeed he's going to be the man who's going to try and convert here for the Boca Raton club. So the umpire's called play. So penalty 3, 40 yards, undefended, 1 strike. And no mistake here. Well done indeed. Artemio picking up goal number 2, this time from the spot. And by doing so, puts his team back in the lead. So the Boca Raton, with a little over a minute and a half remaining here in the second chukker, regain the lead, 4-3. And let's see how Dos will respond. Ball's back in play. Stolen here by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Nicely taken on the near side. Comes in, or in comes the first challenger. Once again with the number 3 on his back. Paquito de Narvaez. Castagnola coming into support, turns. Alejandro needs to allow a little bit of space for the play to be made. The switcheroo, if you will, the reverse. As Castagnola will feed that ball nicely to Ganzi. He's got Roldan sticking to him there like a cheap suit. Slightly overplayed that one. Roldan will stop and turn. Exceptionally talented and technically one of the best that we have here in America. And he did enough at least to get that ball facing the right direction. There is the first horn you might have heard in the background. Literally on the halfway line, Castagnola will turn things around. Is he going to try and hammer one down? He's going to try and feed it up to, well, he was going to find that little gap, but Roldan stopped it from going through. Oh, a little mistake. This could cost them. This could be very expensive because he was there. Loose ball. Roldan, no one in the vicinity can clear it, and that's exactly what he's going to do. We're down to the last 3 seconds of play. Just get that ball away from that danger zone. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be your turn to give the players a round of applause as we come to the end of chukker number 2. We will have a very short break. Leave you now once again in the musical hands of DJ Dazza, and we will be back for chukker number 3 when we return.
Polo school is the funnest thing I've become involved with in the last year of my life.
Gave me the confidence to be able to play an event in beach polo, Miami Beach, and snow polo in Aspen.
Our dedicated instructors have years of polo experience and are CHA certified.
It's important to us to come back and have a really good experience.
Every time you leave the gates from the polo school, you're hungry for more.
All right then, everybody, we're back. Thank you very much. Once again, a warm welcome as the sun comes out right at the start here of Chukka number 3, the Sterling Cup, and the final of which is being played here on field number 2, Grand Champions Polo Club. Great to have you with us, especially those of you watching on CTV Sports, on your handheld devices or on your computers around the world. Great to have you with us here on this, as I say, opening featured match of the week on Sundays here. That's the place you want to be. Grand Champions Polo Club, as the two teams of the Boca Raton Club against Deuce are battling it out for the beautiful trophy, which you will see right after this game at the prize presentation. So do please stick around for that. Somebody was telling me there's some other big sporting event going on. The only thing I could think of was the Olympics. But apparently there's something else going on here in America, something where they actually throw a ball, but they call it football. Don't know what that's all about. You just want to watch this. This is the Sport of Kings, over 2,700 years old. And here, the champions, and that's another cracking goal for the team in white, Deuce. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as I keep telling you, those hands will not clap themselves. And that, to me, looked like it could have been the Cobra. So that puts them even Stevens. 4 goals apiece. Remember, Deuce been given a goal on handicap. Slightly weaker than the Boca Raton. As they go back to the halfway line. 5:40 on the clock. Ball's back in play. Incredibly high-paced final, as was to be expected. And that ball, again, blocked and defended very nicely here by Castagnola. New line created. Who's got the lesser angle? Well, there wasn't much of an issue there because this time Roldan got beaten here by the number 3, Paquito de Narvaez. We'll pick this one up. Look at that pony open up for him. He gets the shot off before Alejandro could do anything. Paquito de Narvaez, what a cracking run here, stealing the ball and running away with it. And that is goal number 3 for the Argentine serving goaler. So good way to start the final Chukka in the first half. Remember, we play 6 Chukkas after the third, which is now this Chukka. We cordially invite you all, at no extra charge, of course, to go and have a little walk across the field to tread in those divots. That would be much appreciated, especially by our players and our ground staff, as we watch Alejandro Navijo Estrada take a shot on the near side, saved on the doorstep there by Colo Gonzalez, but the danger not yet quite contained, as Mr. Roldan trying to find a little opening. Alejandro got the shot off onto goal, but there was a whistle just before. A lot of traffic going on in front of that goal mouth. 1 or 2 players going in for what looks like an early courtesy change. Yeah. So that goal will not stand. There was a right-of-way infringement. We're going to have a hit from the spot in favour of Deuce. And again, everything being launched by Balto Castagnola, who's got the faster pony. Look at them run up there. Nicely picked up. A first elegant touch here by Paquito, but did he come across that line? Well, would have been a great goal, but a foul's a foul. Exactly. The near side would have been the perfect play to take it, but the umpire, Santosanga, doing a very good job, keeping a very close eye on that right of way and keeping a very close eye on who has the lesser angle. And an infringement of that right of way is, of course, an infringement with a little over 4 minutes remaining. I think we're going to go and have our final courtesy change in this half as soon as we hear that whistle, or we've heard the whistle. Chance for me to tell you a little bit more about how historic and how meaningful the Sterling Cup is, especially also to Melissa Ganzi and Grand Champions Polo Club. Has had several historic moments, including what happened back in 2018 when Adolfo Cambiaso, his daughter Mia, and his son Porotto made history by winning their first ever high goal tournament together alongside teammate Magula Prida. Valiente were knocked off the tournament, Valiente knocked off the pre-tournament favourite Audi 10-4 in that final. Mia Cambiaso being awarded the MVP. So the father and son, Adolfo and Porotto, have won the title 3 times in their career. I'm sure for those of you who are new to polo, that name, Cambiaso, Adolfo Cambiaso, is a little bit like, if you watch football, it's the Messi of international polo. Of course, also back here in Wellington. And also very often a featured player here at Grand Champions Polo Club. A gentleman both on and off the field. So, a little over 4 minutes to go here in Chukka number 3. Very, very close. 5 goals to 4. Really not much in it. Both of these teams exceptionally strong. Well mounted, of course. But when it comes to winning and lifting that trophy, there'll be no love lost. Here we go then. Alejandro Novillo Estrada finds Nick Roldan on his left-hand side. He's got to get past Tengola. Barto Castagnola plays it into the run here of Colo Gonzalez. Just a little touch there by Paquito. Ganzi making his way upfield, trying to shake off any defender to be to receive the pass, which could be coming any moment now here from Castagnola. Still Castagnola leaves it behind once again. Here comes the rotation, nicely done through the centre, but Roldan here very quick, not allowing that ball to go through. But hang on a minute, where's that ball going? Oh my goodness, what a cracking goal. Nobody saw that one. What a cracking goal coming out of the third line really. And that puts them into the lead now by 6 goals to 4. Juice playing very, very well. First time, I believe, in this game that we've actually got a 2-goal advantage. Back to the halfway line, 2:43 on the clock. Ball back in play. Once again, Deuce have it. Remember, they change ends after every goal is scored. Coming towards the boards. This is the moment you want to get your cameras out when they come charging straight at you. Well, that man had seen better days there for Colo Gonzalez. Again, doing the old switcheroo. Paquito Dunavais coming in to try and retrieve that loose ball. Little backhand shot over on the far side. Maybe he can run away with it. Nicely done by Roldan. Roldan trying to send that ball further up. Looking for Mannix. Didn't quite get it. And still Nick mobilizing the Boca Raton closer and closer. Here to the under the neck shot, and that one will go through again. So what a cracking goal. Nick Roldan picking up his first of the afternoon and a much needed goal as well, reducing the deficit to just 1 goal. 6 goals to 5, still in the lead. Team Juice. We're going to have a little tack time out. We have a whistle with 1 minute and 26 remaining. And then, as I said, we would very much appreciate it if you would make your way out onto the field to tread in those divots. Much appreciated, and would once again very much like to welcome President and Chief Executive of our official partner hotel and the Boca Raton Club, Daniel Hostetler. Good afternoon to you and your guests. Good to see you once again here at Grand Champions Polo Club. As I said, the Boca Raton and the Boca Raton Club, of course, official partner of Grand Champions Polo Club, now also here in this, the 8th season of the World Polo League. So, a little over 1 minute remaining. Just the 1 goal in it. As Nick Roldan will try and pick this one up. No, beg your pardon. Over on the far side, the number 4. A little difficult to tell. Here we go. Nicely done. And you might have noticed that the team did actually change their shirts. Playing in the light blue now. No mistake here. The Boca Raton. Nice drive. Once again looking for Artemio Figueres. There's the horn. Well, if you snooze, you lose, but he let that one override. Left behind now for Alejandro. Alejandro Navijo Estrada. He's still got plenty of time to try and put another dent on the scoreboard. Here comes the big shot into that danger zone. Artemio slightly far out to the left. Will that ball stay in play? And that will be the whistle. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think a round of applause is in order. And it is now your turn to please grace us with your presence. Make your way out onto the field to tread in those divots with music, of course, by the one and only DJ Dazza.
My name is Nacho Estrada. I'm from Argentina, 8 goals.
Hilario Figueras, 5 goals from Argentina.
My name is Martín Jauregui. My handicap is 6 goals. I'm from Argentina.
Silvestre Novillo, and I'm from Argentina, Buenos Aires.
I'm Tomás Pérez from Argentina, and I'm 6 goals.
Francisco Spinacci, and I am from Argentina, Buenos Aires.
I'm Juan Bolini, and I'm a 3-goal polo player right now, but it could be 8, and I'm from Argentina. No, actually now I'm American.
No, here is amazing. The view, the fields, everything is super nice.
Question is what I don't like about Aspen. I think I like everything about Aspen. The weather, the field. Right now in the summer, I would say the best club in the world.
Friendship, the people, the scenery, everything. This is my 7th year coming in a row, and I feel like I'm at home right now. So me and the family go around like we know the place for a long time, and we enjoy the summer a lot.
When I come here winter and summer, I actually like Aspen more in summer. There's more stuff to do.
All the mountains around here, like it's a pretty nice place, and it is nice to play because there are very good horses, and I play with a lot of friends.
No, I like the polo, the horses, and the people.
I like to do mountain biking and to go to the lake.
Yes, going to the lake, stay here in the barn, everything.
It looks amazing. It's my first time here, but all the things they're doing today is amazing. So I'm gonna be enjoy, and I appreciate to inviting me to be here in the season.
Christmas in July, kids are always looking forward for it. The day they come to Aspen, they know they relate it with Christmas in July, an extra that they have here.
I like Christmas in July because we get all together and we receive a lot of presents.
Welcome to the Halftime Breakdown. I'm Dale Schwetz of CTV Sports, and we're live here from the Grand Champions Polo Club. And our opening day here, highly anticipated showdown with the Boca Raton and Dust. And it started out to be exactly what we were looking for here. As I'll break it down for you one more time as we start out with the Boca Raton with Artemio Figueres playing number 1. 3 goals. We watched him develop here at the Grand Champions Polo Club, starting at 6-goal polo and then watching him get here in the highest rated polo, the World Polo League. And remember, the World Polo League founded in 2018 to preserve the tradition and excellence of 26-goal polo, high-goal polo, the highest rated polo in North America outside of Argentina. He teams up here with a great team with Fred Mannix on 6 goals, and then Nick Roldan on 7, and Alejandro Novillo Estrada on 7. They pick up 2 quick goals early, and they had to give up that handicap goal to Dust, with Mark Ganzi playing the 1 on 1 goal, and then they mix it up well with Matias Gonzalez at number 2 on 4 goals, and we have Paquito de Narvaez playing the number 3 on 7 goals. And here's another young polo star that we've watched develop over the years, and he has just done exceptionally well. And then, of course, the man, Barto Casanola, wearing number 4, captaining the team. On the breakdown, they had that goal on handicap, Dust, and then they came out 2-2 going into that second chukker. Then, it kind of goes back and forth. A very clean game. Not a lot of fouls, and both teams keeping each other off the line. But the Boca Raton did get a penalty to a 30-yard shot where Artemio, which is great to see the young player on the team and lowest rated player on the team actually taking the penalty shots. He picked up a penalty 2, and then Fred Mannix picked up another that pushed him to 4, with Paquito picking up his second, making it 4-3 as they went into the third chukker. And then this is where it's a pivotal chukker, and this is going to be big. You want to keep an eye on this going into the second half, because 1 goal scored by Nick Roldan, which was very important to get Nick on the board. He is wearing the 3, but being the highest rated American player, and to get him scoring goals and then also mixing it up well. They get Alejandro in there. He is wearing the 4. Then the 4-man rotation, and that's what you're kind of seeing with the Boca Raton. They are using that 4-player rotation, and it's working well. We'll see how they come out of the tent and go into the 4th chukker. But Dust, they came into the third, and that's opened it up well. Mark Ganzi picking up a goal, Paquito picking up his 3rd goal, so he gets a hat trick in the first half, and then you have Barto picking up another goal. And more importantly is that they got those 3 goals, and they're mixing it up with the teammates. And so this second half should be a lot of fun to watch here, because they're trying to break down how they're going to go ahead and work this. It is sometimes you're going to see Mark stay out in the front for Dust and pull the team, and basic polo, keeping the 1 out in front, using a 3-man rotation behind him. But you see the Boca Raton with that 4-man rotation. So it's going to be just interesting to see how they go ahead and try to mix it up a little bit, try to show the other team a different style of play to try to break through. Right on track, 6-5 here in the first half. Remember that 13 goals. Want to get those 13 goals, showing that offensive attack is working well, and both teams are on track for that. Beautiful weather here today. Not going to make that big of a difference. We are getting a cross breeze. And as we said earlier, they're not putting each other on the line that much, so that's not going to come into play on the penalty shots. A lot of time when you got a team that's fouling a lot, it will come into play. They're playing open style, but just kind of watching that first half, it looked like they're both still feeling each other out. So when they come out of the tent, I would keep an eye on probably seeing Artemio and Mark become a big part of the game for both teams. I wouldn't be surprised they don't start using them in the front, get them to pull the team, but not just pull the team, get them to spread the opposing team out. And then you'll get that. I believe you're going to start seeing some longer shots. I wouldn't be surprised you don't see Fred Mannix and Alejandro and Nick, who are all big ball hitters, shooting from a little bit further out for the Boca Raton. And then, of course, with Dust, when you got Barto Castanola, who can score from anywhere on the field, and Matias and Paquito, that should be an interesting combination. Should be a great second half. Once again, thank you for joining us here on CTV Sports for the 2026 Sterling Cup Final. I'm Dale Schwetz. Let's go back to Jan Erik Frank.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, as you can see, the players not wasting any time. They're straight back out here for the start of the second half. Chucker number 4 has just literally started. Once again, a warm welcome. Great to have you with us here at Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 2, and, of course, on CTV Sports, or if you're watching via gcpolo.com. Remember, free subscriptions. We invite everyone and anyone to come and join us to enjoy the Sport of Kings. And as I said, we are here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, Grand Champions Polo Club field number 2 for the final of the Sterling Cup. And a nice little shot there from a good 80 yards out. Just slightly missing the target there by Paquito de Narvaez, who's already scored in every single chocker thus far. The only player yet to score is Cola Gonzalez. We've had a score from the Cobra. And we've also had a score from Barto Castagnola, who's been instrumental in creating space and opportunities for his team, Deuce, to score. So just a quick rundown again of who's out there for you. But let's just wait and see if we can see a finish here. And that will just slightly go over the over the line on the far post here. So Deuce made up of Mark Ganzi at number 1. Then Cola Gonzalez, the 4-goaler at number 2. At number 3, Paquito de Narvaez, who's been having a cracking final so far. And then Barto Castagnola, the 10-goaler at number 4, bringing that ball back into play. The Boca Raton, and the Boca Raton club, of course, led by Artemio Figueres, picking up 2 scores, 1 from the line, 1 from the spot, I should say, and 1 out of regular play. At number 2, Freddie Mannix, also with a couple of scores on his account. Number 3, Nick Roldan, of course, with a single goal, and Alejandro Navijo Estrada. And that, another monster shot. Again, not much in it, just going ever so slightly wide. So they left the field at half-time with Deuce leading by 6-5. The Boca Raton now, of course, in pursuit of, first of all, the equalizer, and then maybe to regain possession. They are, of course, on handicap, the slightly stronger team. Deuce were given a goal from the outset based on that handicap difference. Nice little back shot here. Not quite the perfect pass for Alejandro. Here they come. This is where you want to get your cameras out, as I keep saying, as they come charging straight towards the grandstand, the stadium, and the VIP enclosure. Off the boards, not wasting any time. Nicely turned. Well played here. As Paquito will leave this one for Castagnola, and Castagnola makes it look so easy, takes that ball over the halfway line, changes from the onside to the near side, couldn't control it. Alejandro will pick up that loose ball, has possession, will turn it, nice little open back shot down along the lines. Who's going to jump on it first? Artemio tried to control it, and the man with the number 2, Mannix, just puts that ball out of bounds, so there will be what we call a change of possession. And with that whistle, just shy of 4 minutes. It's incredible how quick that courtesy change is once again upon us. Will allow the players for a quick pony change. Now, I did mention to you I was going to tell you a little bit more about Deuce. Well, for those of you like me who are very keen on sports, Deuce is a paddleball club, which is going to be opening a little bit later on this summer, just a minutes away from Palm Beach, and it was founded by local friends here from Wellington, with, of course, a very strong polo connection. And my notes tell me here they have 5 doubles courts from which you can play, a singles court, and over 3,000 feet of area for health, wellness, a spa, recovery room, and not only that, I think this is quite unique, an organic grocer and a cafe where you can obviously buy your organic groceries, but also a really nice lounge where you can obviously relax and watch a bit of TV ahead of your possible game at the Paddleball Club. And it's open to members and non-members alike. And memberships will be available. You might just want to keep an eye out on all social media for Deuce Paddle. Deuce Paddle. Now, as I say, a paddleball club that was going to be opening up a little bit later on in the summer. So keep an eye out for that. Deuce Paddle coming very soon. And we very much look forward to seeing how that does. Here we go then, quickly taken as players come back from that courtesy change. Nice long ball from Castagnola, always looking for Paquito de Narvaez. I remember seeing him here many, many seasons ago, getting stronger and stronger. And once again, congratulations on winning the British Open, the Gold Cup last year back in 2025. Again, one of those young players who picked up a lot of experience from playing with some of the best players in the world. And, of course, only here at Grand Champions Polo Club, the home, of course, of the World Polo League, which in 2026 is now celebrating its 8th year. The only tournament of 26 goals. And that is the highest level of polo played anywhere in the world outside of Argentina. And what a fitting home, which is, of course, Grand Champions Polo Club. So, back to that young man with the number 3 on his shirt, Paquito de Narvaez. His father, of course, also one of Argentina's finest and greatest polo players, Castagnola. Well, if nobody wants it, he thought, well, I'll have a go at this. Hammers that one down. Downfield, again, very close, maybe a couple of inches out on that left side post. Not able to put it through. So we haven't yet had a score in this fourth chukker. Knock in coming over on the far side, roll down. And what you'll see, of course, at this level of polo is what we call the one-touch polo. The pass precision, absolutely top draw. Artemio creating a little bit of space for himself. Switches it back to the near side. Nicely done here by Artemio. And the rotation working. Mannix wanted that ball. Too far there for Ganzi to do anything with. Castagnola. Barto just taking the pace out, letting everybody overrun. Creating the space he wants for now this. Another monster shot. Look at that. That's a good 120, 130 yards, I would think. Roll down. We'll send it. Return to sender. Now this could be, or I was going to say, this could have been a break here for Mannix. And it's going to be left for Artemio. Artemio, nicely done. Sends it back over to the Canadian, to Fred Mannix. Has to take a little scenic tour route. Wants to get past Castagnola. Well, that's a little bit cheeky. He thought he might get away with it, but Santos Anca right on top of that play. So let's see where Santos will decide to drop that ball. Nearly got away with it. And again, the umpire, of course, at his discretion, has the power to decide or to determine where he wants to place that ball based on the severity of the infringement. This looks like it's going to be a standard penalty for. Maybe, no, he's moving it. So a penalty 3, an open goal. And teeing up the ball there is Artemio. I wonder if he's going to be the man to actually try and convert here. So players called. And it looks like indeed they're going to let the very talented Artemio put this one through. He opens the shoulders, takes the shot, no mistake, and there it is, the equalizer. So well done, Artemio Figueres, the only goal so far scored here in this, the 4th of our 6 chuckers. Thank you for that applause. So we have a set of 6s on the scoreboard. And I wonder, there should still be enough time for the players to get to the halfway line for another throw-in. Nancy there just with a little bit of attack issue. Nice gesture there from Alejandro Navijo Estrada to make sure everything is where it should be. So 33.9 seconds remain on the clock here in chucker number 4. Just the one goal so far, courtesy of the man we just saw take it, the penalty, Artemio Figueres. Ball's thrown back into play. And Artemio, he got the first touch. He's going to leave this one for Alejandro. Now Alejandro Navijo Estrada would like to put his team in the lead as they go into the break for the 5th and final, or beg your pardon, penultimate chucker. We of course play 6 chuckers. Just saved it there on the back door. Castagnola, and again clearing that ball. Down to the last few seconds, Mannix. Mannix gets a little bit of luck here. With a little bit of luck, he might just put it through. Just running out of time. Very unlucky. So that's all she wrote for chucker number 4, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more chuckers coming at you. Give them a little round of applause. We'll be back in just a few moments. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again a warm welcome and welcome back. 2 more chuckers to play. Chucker 5 about to start. We had an equaliser there. Penalty taken by Artemio Figueres, putting his team, the Boca Raton Club, right back here as a contender for that beautiful trophy, which I'm sure you've seen. Those of you who are here at the stadium, But we still have 2 full chukkers of polo to play. Still very much anyone's game. And sun showing itself from its sunnier side. Slight chilly wind in the air. Temperatures a little bit less than yesterday. A good touch here once again. Look at that pony open up here for the number 3, Paquito de Narvaez. He's got Mannix sticking close to him on the near side for the finish. Well, that is pure elegance in motion, ladies and gentlemen, by Paquito de Narvaez. Yes, the crowd completely going crazy now here. Absolute elegance and motion there by the young 7-goaler, and that puts his team Deuce back in the lead by 1 goal, 7 goals to 6. What a great run, but what a cool finish on that near side as they line up here once again on the halfway line. Ball back in play. Barto Castagnola looks like he wants to have a run himself. Castagnola, 3-4 touches. Did that go through? Not quite. And that's always a danger when Castagnola has the ball. Anything is possible. Ball went out of bounds. Alejandro Novillo Estrada will tap it back into play. Sends everybody on a bit of a wild goose chase. He was looking for Nick Roldan. He is the recipient of that pass. Still Nick. He's up against Colo Gonzalez. That ball will land at the feet of, Ganzi complaining. Artemio not being phased. Will try and finish what he started. Try to keep that ball in play. Just ran out of polo field. Just waiting for out now. There's the whistle. Quick change there by I believe that was Mr. Roldan, just popping up from underneath the players' enclosure over on the far side. So play is called. Castagnola to get things underway. A good 5 minutes remain here in chukka number 5. And Paquito, as I said, as we just saw, put his team back in the lead, but Alejandro Novillo Estrada here shutting things down before they get 2-0 over that halfway line. Left behind now for Roldan. He's got a bit of space here on the left. Opens his shoulders. Didn't quite get a clean shot on that. Good touch here by Colo Gonzalez. Tees the ball up nicely. Wants to control it. Has Artemio coming in for a piece of the action. Back to Roldan. Now this is where it gets dangerous. Roldan, will he go for the under the neck? Here it comes. Well, he got a piece of it, but I think it might have had a slight little deflection there. So power play and a bit of pressure coming on from the Boca Raton and the Boca Raton club. Here we go. Once again, Castagnola. Boca Raton standing very deep. Castagnola looking for possibly a pass to Ganzi. Gets the ball over the halfway line himself. Look at that pony open up beautifully. Leaves it behind. Well played. Very clever, strategic play here. And once again getting closer and closer towards that end zone. Gonzalez not able to pick up that last fumbled ball. The near side back. Nicely done by Paquito. It drops. And Alejandro read it very well, but Barto, he seems to have that just slight little advantage here, and Castagnola steals it, puts it through, and Barto Castagnola picks up another goal here for Deuce, and that once again puts them in an advantage of 2 goals, 8 goals to 6. We'll just wait for that whistle for the official courtesy change. The clock will keep running, but what an effective, very cheeky play there by Castagnola. Looked like Alejandro had actually had done what he needed to do, but just, and as my dear friend Dale will always say, polo is very often a game of inches, and that was exactly that. Game of inches can make all the difference. So, as the boys go for the penultimate courtesy change, chance for me to remind you that Deuce is a paddleball club which will be opening a little bit later on here in the summer, just minutes away from Palm Beach, founded by local friends from Wellington with a very, very strong polo connection. It hosts 5 double courts, 1 single court, and 3,000 feet of health, wellness, spa, recovery, etc. Anything that makes you feel good, you will find it there. Open to members and non-members alike. And memberships will be available soon. You want to keep a close eye on all the social media posts of Deuce Paddle, where you, I'm sure, will be able to sign up and get your membership. As I say, this paddle club opening up a little bit later in the year, in the summer. And again, very, very close, not only to Palm Beach, but also very close here to Grand Champions Polo Club. 3 minutes and 10 on the clock remain here in Chukka number 5. Yeah, you might just want to get yourself a little coat or a jacket. It's getting a little bit nippy out there now. Temperature's very high on the field. Well, looky here. For a minute there, I thought it was John McEnroe, but it's not. It's good to see you. Here we go. Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Trying to get a little bit closer towards that goal mouth. Turned. Yeah, they're going to be having to mark up a little tighter now. There's a 2-goal advantage as we stand. Artemio picks it up in the midfield, looking to send it back to Alejandro. The pickup on the near side. Well played, Alejandro. The finish. Well, that's how you shoot goals. The combination there. Well done indeed. Artemio Figueras read it, and Alejandro picking up his first goal of the afternoon. So they're coming back. Just 7 goals to 8 now. So, 8 goals to 7, 2 minutes on the clock, on the nose, ball back in play. Castagnola not wasting any time, will pick that one up. Still Castagnola. Sends everybody on a wild goose chase, goes across the field, looking for the open space. Here comes the shot. And, well, is the Pope Catholic? Does Castagnola score? I'm pretty sure you'll agree, but the answer on both occasions is yes. What a superb goal here by Castagnola. So the answer very quickly coming to restore that 2-goal advantage. His second goal here in Chukka number 5. Ball back in play. Still a little bit of a scrum going on here on the halfway line. Coming out on top will be Paquito. Nicely done. He's got to get past Mannix. Has he got the horsepower? Mannix will try and shut him down. Taking the man first, then the ball. But Paquito, he's done this a few times before this afternoon. Oh, my goodness. On the far post, it goes in. The crowd lose it completely. What a cracking goal here. Once again by Paquito. You just cannot give him. You cannot give him more than an inch. He will take you to the cleaners. And he's done it again here, picking up his second goal. And that puts that team into double figures. 10 goals to 7 here at the end of Chukka, number 5. Incredible what we just saw there. Taking on Fred Mannix, which in itself is not an easy task. And then finding just that little angle. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause as we leave the field. We're going to have a short break. We will be back for Chukka number 6 when we return.
have an opportunity. Santos Bellini gonna fire one from 60. Oh, off the post.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Boys are back out there on fresh ponies. And once again, extended warm welcome also to my dear friend Michael Bigford. Good to see you, mate. Long time. A man who's played his polo all over the world. And also gracing us here, like so many big names that we've seen here, that I've seen here in the audience this afternoon. A great way to start the World Polo League's 8th season here with the final of the Sterling Cup. Grand Champions Polo Club Field number 2. And this man, Barto Castagnola, well, you think he's unstoppable. In that last chucker, Alejandro Navijo Estrada picking up a great goal, but then Deuce just was shooting from all cylinders. 4 goals, 2 on the account of Paquito de Narvaez and 2 by Barto himself. Put that team into double figures, so 10 goals to 7. Chucker number 6. Remember, we will have the prize presentation. You're all very much invited to please stay with us here to enjoy the presentation of the 2 best playing ponies, the Grand Champions Polo Club, best playing pony of the final, and of course the American Polo Horse Association, as well as the MVP, the most valuable player. And I'm sure there will be 1 or 2 that you could choose from. Always love to hear your comments. Please do feel free to drop us a note. CTV Sports or gcpolo.com, who you think might be worthy of winning the MVP. Roldan, many times having won that award. And inside backhand again coming from Paquito, nicely done, as if he had eyes in the back of his head. He saw, he found Barto Castagnola. Now watch this pony open up for him. Castagnola, second touch. He's got 3 defenders in hot pursuit. The first will be Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Well, again, the lesser angle. We have a whistle. We have a whistle. Remember, there's a rule in polo, the intimidation as well. You do not want to be caught intimidating another player. As Barto felt or saw that Alejandro was coming at him. And the umpire, Santos Anca, quickly decided. And it's going to be an open goal penalty in favour of Deuce. And as I said, the prize presentation will be conducted by President and Chief Executive Officer of the Boca Raton Hotel and the Boca Raton Club, Daniel Hostetler. So do stick around for that. And then let's see what happens here now. It's going to be the Cobra. Ganzi, well, he'll put that one through with ease. So Mark Ganzi picking up a very important goal to make it 11 goals to 7. So they're on track here to win the Sterling Cup, but there is still plenty of time. A good 4 minutes, 4:20 exact, to be exact, to play. So it is still anyone's game. But the Boca Raton need to start scoring a few more goals. Back to the halfway line. Ball's in play. We have a whistle. And that quick line change, again, something which the umpires need to be aware of. That can happen even within the throw-in. And that looks like what happened here. And that, of course, is an easy mistake to make to then create an unwanted or an unnecessary foul. Alejandro Navijo Estrada will send that one through. He got a piece of it. Colo Gonzalez. Oh, they're getting very, very close. But again, superb defending here by Deuce. Castagnola gets the ball from the near side. Roldan will send it back. Artemio was waiting there. Gets a bump from the number 3 from Paquito. Unintentional, of course. Plus he had another player also on his other side. So let's see what the umpire decides to make of that, whereas Barto's just going to go for a very quick pony change. So exactly 4:32 on the clock here in the 6th and final chukker. Just the one goal so far from Ganzi from the spot, making it 11 goals to 7. So 4 goals for the equaliser, 5 for the win. With 4.5 minutes on the clock, you do the maths. It's doable, but it's a tall order. Castagnola coming back out on the fresh pony. Well, this could be the first of those 4 goals that they need. And so far, he's been 100% from the spot. Once again, Artemio Figueras. To put this one through to make it 11 goals to 8. And that's just going to unfortunately run out of steam. He didn't really follow through well enough on that, so a little bit unlucky there. The first miss hit by Artemio Figueras. And that means, of course, possession for Deuce. And once again, everything coming via Barto Castagnola. First challenger would have been or could have been Fred Mannix. Another monster shot just shy of the halfway line. Roldan tries to control it. Still Nick up against Paquito. Needs a bit of support. Artemio jumps in and he's would have been the first man there. And he's just got a sense for where that ball needs to go. And that is the anticipation. Now then, Ganzi. Can he pick this one up on the near side? Good touch, but coming across that line had already been taken in possession by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Unfortunate there for the Cobra, as that will prompt the boys to go for a courtesy change, I'm sure. So let's have a little look. 3:49 on the clock. And looking at my score sheet, it all really looked a little bit suspicious in chukker number 4 when we had just that one goal from Artemio Figueras. No goals at all by Deuce. And chukker number 5 then, Alejandro Navijo Estrada picking up a very important goal. And we all thought that might have been the the beginning of the comeback campaign until Deuce started firing out of all cylinders. 2 amazing goals, especially the last one right at the end of that chucker by Paquito de Narvaez. And of course 2 superb goals by Castagnola, making it 10 goals to 7. That's how they left the field. And then they came back, and right at the top of this chucker number 6, it was Ganzi picking up a goal, making it 11-7. So they've just got a little under 350 to play here in the 6th and final chucker to get this over to the finishing line. I remember Bata Castagnola, he won the award of MVP last year. Let's see if he's going to win that one again this year. Alejandro Novillo Estrada out to the left-hand side, feeding the ball to Roldan. Try to take it on the full volley. Across comes Mannix. Colo Gonzalez too far away for there to be any danger. Umpire allowing positive play and flowing play. Artemio, another very high ball. Will try and play it to himself. Cleared. Now this could be, and look at that pony. Look at that pony open up for Castagnola. Has to slam on the brakes on the boards. We'll try and pick it up and send it back into the field. He does well. And it'll be Colo Gonzalez. He was looking or eyeing up Mark Ganzi. Mannix stops, turns. The ball didn't go anywhere near where he wanted it to go. And they're not wasting any time. They'd like to get the dozen if they can. It'll be Barto to play that one over to Mark. Mark now will jump on top of this to make it an equal dozen. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 12 goals. Goal number 2 here in this chucker for Mark Ganzi. And as I said, that makes it a full even dozen. 12 goals to 7. And that is where I think with 2:22 on the clock, it's going to be a very tall order here to pick up, 6 goals in effect to try and win this with 2:22 on the clock. Will not be easy. Last chance for a quick change of the 4-legged athlete. Ball's back. In play. Santos Anca. Another one of those players back in the day. I remember seeing him playing with him even in Europe. Incredibly strong hitter. All right, here we go then. Another couple of goals would be nice for the Boca Raton and the Boca Raton club. Roldan. A nice little ball out to the far side for Alejandro Novillo Estrada. And he will send that one up to Artemio Figueres, the finishing touch. Just ever so slightly wide. But that, again, that one-touch polo, that combination play, which they showed us a lot of, especially in the first half. That'll stop the clock. We have a whistle. 1 minute and 40. And away we go. Ball's back in play. Castagnola. Wouldn't be surprised if he's going to try and run this one himself. In comes Mannix. Good challenge here by the Canadian. And that's what you're always going to have to be in for with Castagnola. And another great touch here on the near side by Ganzi. Takes it towards goal. Will he make it goal number 13? Ever so close. Ever so close, but the ball's still in play. A little over a minute remaining. And now they're going to try and turn things around. Mannix will be looking at, or looking for Artemio. And or Roldan on that beautiful black pony he's on. Bouncing ball, Castagnola. Again, a game of inches. And again, we've seen this a couple of times. This time it's the turn of Colo Gonzalez in front of goal. The shot. And no mistake, of course, that makes it 13. So, the last few seconds are running down. I think we can call that a game, set, and match. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great way to end this final. And with that, of course, the final score being 13 goals to 7 in favour of Duso. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Mark Ganzi, Paquito de Narvaez, Barto Castagnola, and Colo Gonzalez. Commiserations, but a great display, a great polo match here by Artemio Figueres, Nick Roldan, Alejandro Novillo Estrada, Freddie Mannix. We will be getting everything ready for the prize presentation. Make sure you join us when we return in just a few moments here, live from Grand Champions Polo Club.
All right, welcome back to our breakdown of our final breakdown of the day, and congratulations here to Dust bringing it to life at the 2026 Sterling Cup Final. Second half action, such a big game in a game, and if you just joined us for the second half, of course we ended 6-5 at halftime with Dust with a keeping that handicap goalie at 1 at the beginning, and then they went in 6-5. Keeping a 1-goal lead, but they did come out of the third, and they were very, very strong in the third, but in the fourth, they went scoreless. So they had one unanswered goal by the Boca Raton, and if you haven't done that, been down to the Boca Raton Hotel, and of course the beach club down in beautiful Boca Raton, please make sure you find your way down. It is an amazing establishment down there. I grew up in Boca and just had a fabulous time. It's great to see them, one of our title sponsors here at the Grand Champions Polo Club. And they kept it going, and it looked like that was going to be the start because they left 6-6 with another great penalty shot by Artemio. So he actually picked up his hat trick in the fourth, and with a penalty 3. And then, like good teams do, the Dust team just brought it back to life, and the center of the team, Paquito and Barto, they just turned it up. They turned up the heat, and each scoring 2 goals to make it, and then 1 goal made by Alejandro Novillo Estrada for the Boca Raton, but that was the kicker right there, and that gave that 3-goal cushion, making it 10-7 going into the final chukker. Such a huge chukker for Dust. I know they're going to be very happy about that when they break this down. Now the fourth, though, that's where I was watching. I was kind of break down. It was interesting in that because it looked like they were going to start building on that third. But you got to give it up to the Boca Raton, Artemio, Nick, Alejandro, and Fred. They did a great job keeping them from scoring, and they picked up the penalty. So, but things turn in polo. You blink an eye and it could change. Even with the field being 300 yards long by 160 yards wide, 9 football fields fitting in the area, they can travel that amount of speed, and it just shows you how they pick up the 4 goals. Comfort going into the 6, and so they kind of just carried that along. And then, as I said, Mark Ganzi, who had a lot of opportunities, actually, they used him a number of times in the second half. And he did a great job picking up some goals from the field and then also being very successful from the penalty line. And then Artemio had his first kink. And for a young 3-goal player, not too bad. 3 goals on the day. He was 2 for 3 from the penalty line. The penalty 3, it would have been a big goal for him just because in the 6th chukker when they were trying to get back on it. But Ganzi just answered back, and again, they just turned up the speed when they needed to do it today, and that is a big part of the win. And then they played out there, getting 3 goals in the 6th, and they get the final score there, 13-8. So as they prepare for the trophy presentation here, it's such a beautiful time. And thank you for staying on here for our post-game breakdown. We'll be doing that through the season here. We'll be doing some pregame, and we'll do, of course, our halftime breakdown, which is always interesting, and then bringing you post-game breakdowns and interviews also at times as this 2026 season gets going. Again, beautiful weather, excuse me, and just a special time here as the sun sets for the trophy presentation. Now, you are going to see a number of, well, top ponies. And, of course, the American Polo Horse Association, that they're going to have a best playing pony for that. And then there will be a Grand Champions Polo Club best playing pony. And the MVPs of the game, as I always say, you can't win without the four-legged athletes. You saw a number of different changes today in the game, and that is a huge part in the game of polo. Now, if you're not used to the Kersey change, they were using the Kersey change through the day-to-day. Some players were using it and some weren't because of the weather. I think being a little cooler today, but being early in the season also, you will see players actually maybe changing 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 times in the game, and just to be able to get those horses ready to go. And sometimes at the beginning of the season, when the ponies are getting ready, you know, they may wake up on the wrong side of the bed, so they'll flip them around. But they did a great job, I think, both teams, in mixing it up. To break it down, Artemio for the Boca Raton, he came out 3 for 4 today. Good job shooting. Nick Rodan, one from the field, but facilitating the ball at a high level. Alejandro playing the number 4 position for them. And then Mannix picking up 2 at the number 2 position. Fred, on 6 goals, usually plays in the back. But I actually remember playing with Team Audi with Fred in the Gold Cup down in Boca. And he was actually played number 2. So he is an offensive player. And I got to interview him last year, and but they did a good job keeping them under control and keeping them away from that high-scoring game. And I think the defense from Dust definitely put them in a position. Gansey, he got started out a little slower, but started pulling the team. As I said at the halftime break, I figured they would use him a little more to pull the team, and he did, coming out with 3 goals on the day. And then Paquito Narvaez, man, he is just playing so well. We were talking about, these young players here at the Grand Champions Polo Club being involved with the PTF, the Polo Training Foundation, and make sure you keep an eye out for that, as we'll be having broadcasts for, I think, 4 or 5 more during the 2026 season. And that's where you're going to be able to see all these young players. And I remember seeing Artemio and Paquito actually playing in that. And now look at him. Paquito on 7 goals, Artemio on 3. And he picked up today 5 goals, 3 in the first half. He got his hat trick. And then 2 in the fifth chucker. Barto doing a great job, captaining the team, picking up his 3 goals. And then Matias, he's a little workhorse. And if you know Matias Gonzalez, you can understand at 4 goals, very, very strong with the man. Comes to the field, always ready to go, big energy, very positive player. And didn't pick up any goals today, but did a great job. Even though he's wearing the 2, he was shutting down the middle of the field. And that is another big part of their success today. Once again, this is the beginning of the World Polo League. And, if you remember 26 Gold Polo, and I mentioned it at the halftime break, that in 2018, it was founded, and just an amazing job. You can hear, I was talking to people up in the stands today, how they love the ability to have the different levels of polo and keeping that tradition alive at the 26 goals. And you think sometimes people say, okay, we got 22 goals, And then, okay, you're only adding 4 more to the game. Well, you'd be surprised the difference that really does in a game. And I guess, you could look at it at all levels when you start adding that extra 4 goals to the field. But in the 26 goal, biggest part is you're adding high goal players. And remember the handicap system, it starts out at -1 and they work you up to 10 goals. And being that 80% of the people that actually have a handicap in the United States Polo Association are 2 goals or less, those goals are huge because of that extra 20% that we're bringing on to the field. And you get to witness that here in the World Polo League and watching this 26-goal polo. They're going to have looks like a good group down there getting ready for our trophy presentation. And I want to thank you once again. Remember, keep everyone lined out. Okay, gcpolo.com. You follow all the games there. The games will be spread around at different fields and different levels of polo. CTV Sports known for covering everything from not just the PTF, but from 6 to 26 goals. And I got to give love because there's a lot of women's polo right now. And if you're down here in Florida, you get to see a lot of that. And as they get ready for the U.S. Open, Women's U.S. Open. But the women's polo has just been the leader in polo and just representing the game and watching the development of the players that are playing now in the women's polo has been such a thrill, especially for me because we got to actually start covering the ladies playing, and that just brings a lot of love and energy. So I want to thank all the ladies out there, and of course the represent at that level. So keep an eye out for that. And as we have Jan-Erik Frank on the mic here today, who is live also on CTV Sports, but at the field. And he'll be here also all season long. And you can follow him on his Instagram at The Voice of Polo. And, of course, follow everything that we do on CTV Sports. If you have any questions.
Here we can have the players, please, if you'd like to make your way on to the presentation, please, all the players up onto the podium. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back. Great to have you with us and sticking around for the prize presentation. I'd like to very much welcome the Chief Executive of the Boca Raton Hotel, Daniel Hostetler. And before we get on with the players, I'd like you to please put your hands together. We have two best playing ponies of the Sterling Cup final. We're going to start with the American Polo Horse Association best playing pony. If we could please have Machitos Melody come forward, please. Oh, she's not here yet. She's coming, beg your pardon. Well, you know what? In that case, we'll start with the Grand Champions best playing pony of the Sterling Cup final. Please step forward. Antu Valong Experta. Please give a round of applause. And the young man who rode her, Paquito de Narvaez Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Antu Valong Experta, the Grand Champions Polo Club best playing pony of the Sterling Cup final. And there you see the man who rode her and owns her, Paquito de Narvaez. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Right. Now a couple of pictures maybe. And the boys, of course, who look after the ponies. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, we just need to get her blanket on her back. She is coming her way there, and that is the American Polo Horse Association best playing pony of the Sterling Cup final. You can see there the boys just putting the blanket over her back. There she is. She's a little bit excited. The ears pricked up. And if we can have her please be brought forward, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Machitos Melody, if you would. Ridden by Mr. Mark Ganzi, owned and bred by Santa Rita Polo Farm. And what a fine pony that is indeed. And there's, as I say, the man who rode her, Mr. Mark Ganzi. And of course, on behalf of all the ponies and all the grooms, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. They are the engine room of every polo team. So that takes care of the four-legged athletes, and then I'd like to once again ask you to please welcome Daniel Hostetler, the Chief Executive and President of the Boca Raton Hotel and, of course, a club. We're going to start with the runners-up, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the Boca Raton. Please step forward at number 1, Senor Artemio Figueras. Well played. At number 2, ladies and gentlemen, the man from the Great White North, the one and only, give it up for Mr. Freddie Mannix. At number 3, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one man who can, and that is Mr. Nick Roldan. Give it up for Nick. And as always, the gentleman, the legend that is Alejandro Novillo Estrada. Well done. Runners-up of the Sterling Cup Final 2026. And now over to the winners of the Sterling Cup 2026. At number 1, he's a bit quick off the mark. Give it up for Mr. Mark Ganzi. At number 2, please step forward, Colo Gonzalez. Well, and Colo at number 3, he's already got a big smile on his face. Please give you a word. Give it up for Paquito de Narvaez. And at number 4, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Barto Castagliola. Now, before you go, Daniel, we have one more very important award to give, and that, of course, is the award of the MVP of the Sterling Cup, the most valuable player, Sterling Cup Final 2026, ladies and gentlemen. That is Paquito de Narvaez. Thank you very much. And if we could now ask the runners-up to kindly exit stage left, as Daniel Hostetler will be presenting that beautiful trophy, the Sterling Cup, to this year's winners. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one more time, put your hands together. Your champions are the winners. That is Team Deuce. Give it up for Mark, Paquito, Barto, and Colo. Oops. And with that, from all of us.